The endocannabinoid system is the regulator of the entire body. It is enmeshed with nearly every system of the body, and it modulates nearly all processes that occur in the body. Yet many don't know about it because it was only discovered in the 90s, and even then, research was really hard to fund and complete until the legalization of hemp in 2018. This explosive research is changing paradigms. For example, many attribute the runner's high to endorphins. No, research has shown that it's endocannabinoids signaling this euphoria. There are more cannabinoid receptors in the body than any other type of receptors, and leading scientists in the field claim that we have only discovered about 10% of what the endocannabinoid system really does. Due to emerging evidence of how critical and encompassing cannabinoid signaling is, scientists want to change the name of the endocannabinoid system to being the endocannabinoid dome, OM, for all-encompassing. The endocannabinoid system consists of cannabinoid receptors. There are CB1 receptors, CB2 receptors, and many suspect that more will be discovered. The CB1 receptors are what the famous marijuana THC works with. These are the receptors of the nervous system. The CB2 receptors are the receptors of the immune system, and this is what the beloved hemp CBD works with. Hemp doesn't have the glitz of marijuana, but research is increasingly illustrating how important this cannabinoid that has been neglected by the modern person is. In fact, new DNA studies are demonstrating that many people, but not all, need about 20 to 30 times more CBD than THC. CB2 receptors are found in the peripheral systems of the body, in the bones, the GI system, the microglia of the central nervous system, and even in the white blood cells themselves. Being the main receptors of the immune system, this brings us to inflammation. The immune system fights with inflammation, and it cools down the inflammation when the need to fight is over, such as when we get a cold. There's a lot of inflammation in the sinuses fighting the virus, or if we bruise ourselves, there will be inflammation, as the inflammation is the immune system's urge to heal the body. And just as there is inflammation with physical assaults, there is inflammation with mental assaults as well. The CB2 receptors calm down the HPA axis pathway, the main stress pathway of the body, in times of mental strain by way of signaling the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, and the hypothalamus. Mainly, it is the endocannabinoids which activate the CB receptors. Endocannabinoids are cannabinoids endogenously produced by the body. Yet, in modern life, we can exhaust our supply of endocannabinoids due to pollution, inflammatory foods, too little sleep, too much worry, too much phone, social media, alerts, emails. We live in a time where everything has to be done ASAP. Due to phones and computers, we have constant mental stimulation, and many of us are walking around with too much stress and too little cannabinoids. This isn't even considering those with inflammatory injuries and diseases. And if the endocannabinoid system loses its effectiveness because it doesn't have the endocannabinoids, we have what Dr. Ethan Russo calls an endocannabinoid deficiency. The FDA released his findings on this deficiency and implicated it in anorexia nervosa, chronic motion sickness, fibromyalgia, Huntington's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, menstrual symptoms, migraines, motion sickness, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, PTSD, schizophrenia, and more. In the physical and mental health fields, there is a concept known as comorbidity. Comorbidity occurs when multiple chronic conditions develop in a person, often from the same root cause. For example, in terms of physical health, obesity creates high cholesterol and high blood pressure. In terms of mental health, if you have anxiety, then you're more likely to have depression. Comorbidity is the norm in modern medicine. It illustrates that when one system stops running efficiently, it will cause other systems in the body to become dysregulated. The positive side to this is that if you heal one system of the body, you are going to see healing in other systems. Therefore, we might want to take a look at the endocannabinoid system, as it is the root, regulating and balancing all the systems. While many take CBD every day for disease prevention, many have conditions and specific issues they are working with, and they ask, how long will it take to work? Well, this depends on your levels of stress, the dosage you take, the current endocannabinoid tone of your body, your lifestyle habits, and other factors. Although many see results immediately, especially when working with pain, generally our motto, as is ICCT's, the International Center for Cannabinoid Therapy, is to start low and go slow. Through cannabinoid dosing, you are bringing balance and regulation to all the systems of the body. Therefore, it's not wise to shock the endocannabinoid system. Instead, we slowly introduce the substance and give it at least 3 months to evaluate the effects. It might take this long to really notice a difference, as you are supplying the most abundant receptor system of the body, which is responsible for so many things. Your body's intuition is going to take the cannabinoids where it needs it the most, and perhaps this isn't where you wanted them to go. For example, you're taking CBD for mental stress, yet the body uses the CBD for inflammation of your gut. Well, this might mean it takes longer before it gets to your head. This is probably necessary. The body is wiser than the brain in many ways, and don't fret, because cannabinoids will make their way to your head eventually. Just give them some time. Now, CBD is not a magic pill. If you have major psychological stressors, it's not going to make that go away, but it can prevent excessive damage done to the body through high levels of stress and inflammation. CBD activates the CB2 receptors, calming the inflammatory pathways and relieving the pain, while simultaneously letting the endocannabinoid system itself resupply. This is why the dosage of CBD goes down over time. The CBD is not just making you feel better, it's healing the runaway inflammation while resupplying perhaps the most vital system to human health, the endocannabinoid system. This is extremely important, as inflammation unchecked causes disease in the body. In fact, currently, chronic inflammation is recognized as the most prominent cause of death in the world. Cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, autoimmune diseases, and neurodegeneration can all be attributed to high levels of inflammation. CBD is one of the oldest medicines in the world. We have found traces of hemp through archaeological digs dating as far back as to 10,000 BC. Hemp is even speculated to have been part of the urge toward the Neolithic Revolution. Until the prohibition of hemp in the 1940s, everyone had cannabis in their medicine cabinets, and it was not to get them high. Yet, due to the propaganda, it became illegal until 2018, when its legalization was inspired by the need for hemp to provide relief for children with epilepsy. Still, most people don't have CBD in their medicine cabinet, and many are deprived of nature's most incredible medicine, hemp. My study of the endocannabinoid system has completely changed the way I look at my body. Now I am able to look at the whole picture, how it is functioning as a whole, and how the different components are working in tandem. I do not just have a stomach problem. I have a stomach problem that is making my head hurt due to the gut-brain axis, and is giving me anxiety due to A, pain from neuroinflammation, and B, the fact that I don't feel comfortable in my jeans. Answers are never just black and white. No one can tell you exactly what using plant therapy in the form of hemp is going to do for you specifically. It is going to take a whole body balancing approach. But with how encompassing the cannabinoid receptors are, it might just heal something you never even expected to get relief for. And who doesn't like a pleasant surprise?